Celtic Mythology. Adventures of warriors and legendary creatures. Stories of gods and goddesses. Tales of myths and legends, sagas and beliefs from the Irish, Scottish, Brittany, and Welsh mythology. Written by James Gaiman. Narrated by Toby Brier. Neil Brown. Copyright 2021.
Often, when we hear the word mythology, Greek mythology is the first thing that springs to mind. But mythology lives in all sorts of backgrounds, and the myths we hear in today's era have cropped up from all sorts of backgrounds. Have you ever considered what kind of mythology you are exposed to every day? While Greek mythology accounts for a large portion of the mainstream mythology we are introduced to, often we assimilate other myths we hear as part of the Greek family because that is what we are used to. Mythology is beholden to no one area. That is why we see mythology exist in all regions of the world. By definition, it is merely a collection of myths that are derived from regions, religions, and cultures. Essentially, mythology is worldwide. You will find that myths you heard of every day in your life have derived from the strangest of places or the least expected background. Celtic mythology is a mythology that has been around for centuries, and their tales have been passed down from generation to generation. Celtic mythology centres around a group of people known as the Celts. The Celts existed in Europe as early as 1000 BC. Trying to understand Celtic mythology without knowing or understanding the Celts and their story is like trying to tie your shoes without laces. It cannot be done. The Celts have existed for millennia, and they rapidly spread across European countries in the early 1000 BC. In fact, the Celts were known to be a force to be reckoned with, rivaling the power of the Roman Empire during their prime. Unfortunately, like most wars between empires, the Celts began to lose ground as the Romans continued to expand. By the time 225 BC hit, the Celtics had maxed their expansion and had conquered as much territory as they were going to. This was when the Romans began to overrun the Celts, and as the year of AD 84 hit, the Celts were all but browbeaten by the Romans. The Celts were comprised of many different groups that hailed from several regions, but over time their pool shrunk to where they were mainly composed of those from Cornwall, Brittany, Scotland, Isle of Man, Wales, and Ireland.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?